"I'm sorry, but we don't need old men like you anymore." That's what she said. Cold, dismissive, like I was just another outdated file she could drag to the trash. My name's Daniel Harris, 49, and I spent 27 years building Harris Tech from the ground up. I wasn't just an employee. I was the guy who stayed late when the server crashed, who flew across states for client meetings, who treated this company like family. And now, I was being thrown out of it like yesterday's news. Her name is Alyssa Harris, the founder's only daughter, 26, fresh out of business school, lipstick perfect, heels louder than her experience. She took over the company just 3 weeks ago when her father stepped back after a stroke. The first thing she did, fired me. I didn't argue, I didn't even flinch. I just smiled sarcastically and nodded. She thought she'd won something, that she was powerful. But she had no idea what she'd just done. The next morning, I was having my coffee when my phone rang. It was Mr. Harris himself. "Why the hell did she do that?" he barked. "Don't you read contracts?" Oh, I read them, every damn word. 12 years ago, during a brutal lawsuit, he added a clause just for me, a silent reward for my loyalty. It gave me long-term severance, equity, and something much more valuable: veto power on any leadership change involving operational staff. Alyssa had no clue. She hadn't read the contracts. She hadn't even asked legal. And now? She just handed me the opening I never asked for, but desperately needed. Later that afternoon, I passed by Harris Tech. Just a glance. Alyssa walked out, phone in hand, smile full of arrogance. She didn't notice me, but someone else did. Evan, her fiancé. We locked eyes for a second too long. He looked uneasy, like he knew something, or like I did. I met him once, briefly. He was sharp, the kind who noticed what others didn't, and I had a feeling, deep in my gut, that Evan might be the key to something bigger. Just then, a message buzzed on my phone. "Mr. Harris again. We need to talk. My house, 5 p.m. alone." Something wasn't right. This wasn't just about a firing anymore, and I wasn't going to let it slide, not this time. Mr. Harris lived in an old brick house outside the city, not flashy but solid. Just like him. I hadn't seen him in over a month, not since his stroke. When I arrived, the door was already open. He sat in the dimly lit living room, cane beside him, eyes sharp despite his age. "She fired you?" he said, like he couldn't believe it. I nodded. "She didn't read the clause," I replied calmly. "Page 16, last paragraph." He cursed under his breath. "I gave her everything, but she's impulsive, arrogant, thinks running a company is like managing an Instagram page." He paused, studying me. "I need your help. She's ruining everything I built. The team's scared. Investors are pulling out. And now she's planning a merger with a crypto firm run by her fiancé." That made me sit up straighter. "Wait, Evan?" I asked. He nodded. "Yeah, slick guy, lots of charm, zero depth. I didn't approve the engagement. She got engaged after I got sick." The pieces started to connect. "Did she mention what kind of merger?" I asked. Mr. Harris handed me a file. "Read this." Inside were terms of a reverse acquisition. Her fiancé's sketchy crypto startup would merge with Harris Tech, but on paper, they'd become the parent company. That meant Alyssa and Evan would effectively own everything her father built. This wasn't a mistake. This was a hostile takeover, and I had just become their only obstacle. "Legally, you're still a board advisor," he said, watching my reaction. "You can stop this, but we need to be careful. She's already told HR that you left voluntarily. She's rewriting history, Daniel." I clenched my jaw. Not just betrayal, she was trying to erase me. "And Evan?" I asked. "He's dangerous," Mr. Harris replied. "He's not in this for her. He's in this for power." As I drove away from the house, my mind was racing. Alyssa wasn't just some spoiled kid playing CEO. She was in on this. The firing wasn't personal. It was calculated. Get rid of the one person who could stop her. But what she didn't know was I'd already started digging. And that night, I went deeper. Old emails, board minutes, legal memos. I found something. 3 months ago, Alyssa forged a proxy vote from a sick board member to push through an early share transfer right before her dad's stroke. It was illegal, and if proven, she could lose her position. I printed every document, backed it all up. But just as I was finishing, my screen flickered. A video file auto-launched. It was grainy, low quality, security footage, Alyssa in the office with Evan. And then he grabbed her wrist, tight, too tight. She pulled away, looking scared. And that's when I realized, maybe she wasn't fully in control after all. Maybe she needed saving, not revenge. Or maybe she was just acting. I couldn't sleep that night. Alyssa's face from the footage kept replaying in my mind. Her eyes weren't just scared, they were calculating too, like she knew someone might be watching. It felt staged. But what if it wasn't? I needed answers, and I knew exactly where to get them. The next morning, I drove to Harris Tech, walked in like I still worked there. The front desk girl, Casey, glanced up. I gave her a warm nod, like I belonged. Confidence is a better ID than any badge. She didn't stop me. Third floor, finance. Kevin, the junior accountant, was at his desk, sipping that ridiculous vanilla protein shake he never let go of. Dan, hey, I thought you got fired? Yeah. Got bored of early retirement. I cut him off, smiling. Listen, I need a favor. Quiet one. He blinked. Depends. I need Alyssa's last 3 wire approvals, personal and company. And don't say it's illegal. You and I both know the real crime is what's happening upstairs. He hesitated, then sighed. You've got 10 minutes before IT logs this. That's all I needed. 5 minutes in, and there it was. A $2.5 million transfer to a shell account in the Cayman Islands. Not company related, dated 2 days after she fired me. Something didn't add up. I snapped photos on my burner phone and got out fast. But as I stepped out of the stairwell, I nearly collided with her. Alyssa. She looked different, sharper, cold eyes, but her voice was soft. You're not allowed in here, she said. Funny, neither are stolen funds, I replied. She paused. Her expression didn't flinch, but her fingers twitched. You shouldn't have come back. And yet here we are, I said. Her lips curled into a smile. You don't know what you've stepped into, Dan. Walk away while you still can. Like you walked away from your father, from the man who trusted you. For a second, something flickered in her eyes. Guilt, maybe. Or something darker. She leaned in close, her perfume sharp, suffocating. This isn't about my father, she whispered. It's about survival. Then she walked away. I stood frozen for a second. The fear wasn't mine anymore. It was hers. She was hiding something, and I had a feeling Evan was pulling more than just business strings. That evening, I tailed Evan. He drove far, beyond the city, past the suburbs, to a quiet gated estate. When he entered, I saw a second car already there, a black Range Rover, license plate burned into my memory. It belonged to Jason Wyatt, CEO of a pharma company recently accused of money laundering, and Alyssa's ex. So Evan wasn't just a scammer. He was working with her ex-boyfriend behind her back. I took photos, but as I was zooming in, I felt it, a hand on my shoulder. I turned fast, too fast. Kevin. What the hell are you doing here? I hissed. He looked pale. You need to come with me. Why? Because someone just sent this to my inbox, he whispered, holding up his phone. It was a screenshot of me and Kevin accessing the finance data taken from the security camera above his desk, and underneath it, one line. Thought you were smarter than this, Daniel. They knew, not just about me digging, but who helped me. Kevin's hands were shaking as we ducked behind the tall hedges near the estate's fence. This is bad, he whispered. They're tracking everything, even private terminals. Calm down, I muttered, already calculating. That camera was in your office. IT must have been in on it. That means Alyssa knew what I'd do the moment I walked in. He nodded slowly. She wanted you to find that Cayman account. The realization hit me hard. I wasn't exposing her. I was being played. Back in my apartment, I laid everything out, photos, screenshots, files, trying to make sense of it. And then I noticed something strange. The Cayman transaction? It wasn't to her. It was from her. The account she sent the money to was under Evan's name, so she wasn't stealing from the company. She was paying someone off. But why? My phone buzzed. Unknown number. Just a message. Meet me. 1 hour. Same place you saw Jason. Come alone. No name. Just tension. Kevin begged me not to go. This is how people disappear, he said. But I had to. I needed the truth, even if it was laced with danger. When I got there, the estate was dark. No lights, no sound. I pushed through the back gate, heart thudding, until I saw her, Alyssa, standing by the pool, arms folded. "You came alone," she said. "You wanted me to—" She looked exhausted, her perfect hair messy, mascara smudged like she hadn't slept. "You think I betrayed my father," she said. "I don't think I know," I replied. She laughed, but it was bitter. "You think this was my idea? That I woke up and decided to destroy my life? You have no idea what's happening behind these walls." "Then tell me." She stared at the water. "Jason's not just my ex, he's blackmailing me. My father, he did business with Jason's company years ago. Signed off on—" "People died, Dan. He covered it up. There are documents. Jason has them. And if they go public, Harris Tech's done. My dad's legacy is ruined. Everything he built would turn to ash." I was stunned. "So you're paying Jason off to protect your father's name?" She nodded. "And Evan? He's Jason's inside man. I didn't know at first. I trusted him. But he's been feeding Jason intel for months." It all snapped into place. Evan wasn't using Alyssa. Jason was using both of them. "But why fire me?" I asked. "Why throw me into all this?" Her voice broke. "Because you're the only one my father still listens to. And if you found out the truth, he'd want justice, not silence. He'd take it all down just to make it right." I didn't know what to say. This wasn't revenge anymore. It was a cover-up, a desperate daughter trying to preserve the illusion of a great man. But then, another voice cut through the silence. "Well, well," a deep drawl. "Guess the old man is smarter than he looks." I turned fast. Jason, smiling, walking slowly toward us, hands in his pockets, confident, dangerous, and beside him, Evan, holding a gun. "You shouldn't have come here, Dan," Evan said. "Now we've got a loose end." Alyssa gasped. "Evan, what are you doing?" He smirked. "Cleaning up your mess. You really thought Jason would let you walk away after this?" She stepped in front of me. "You touch him, and I swear." "Too late," Jason said, pulling out his phone. He tapped the screen, and suddenly my phone buzzed. A video. It was me, in Kevin's office, stealing company data. Jason grinned. "You're not the hero, Dan. You're the fall guy." And in that moment, I knew. They were going to frame me for everything. I didn't flinch, not even with Evan's gun pointed at my chest, because in that moment, something clicked. Jason wanted me scared, cornered. He wanted control. But he'd underestimated one thing. I'd been underestimated all my life. Before either of them could react, I held up my phone and slowly turned the screen around, showing them the live stream. "You really think I came here without backup?" I said quietly. Jason's smile faded. I nodded toward the phone. "Smile for the camera. You're live, right now, streaming straight to a private server. Everything you said, every threat is being recorded." Evan cursed, lowering the gun slightly. Alyssa turned pale. "You're bluffing," Jason snapped. I shrugged. "Try me." The tension cracked in the air like thunder. I kept my voice steady. "You framed me. You used Alyssa. You blackmailed her over her father's sins, and you're using Evan like a puppet." Jason stepped forward, but Alyssa moved faster, snatching the gun from Evan's limp grip and pointing it straight at Jason. "You used me," she whispered. "I gave you everything I had." Jason froze. "Alyssa," he said, "put the gun down. You're not going to shoot anyone." Her hands were trembling, but her eyes were locked on his. But I'm done protecting monsters." Then she turned to me. "Get out of here, Dan. Take the footage. Do what you have to do." I hesitated. "You'll be okay?" "I don't care anymore," she said. "Let the truth come out. My father needs to answer for what he did. And Jason, he doesn't get to win. I backed away slowly, phone clutched in my hand, heart thundering. As I crossed the estate's gates and disappeared into the dark, I called Kevin. Send the video to every major outlet, legal teams, the press. Go full throttle. The next 24 hours were chaos. News broke. Harris Tech stocks plummeted. Investigations reopened. Whistleblowers came forward. And the golden image of Grant Harris shattered. Jason was arrested for extortion and fraud. Evan vanished. Alyssa disappeared too, for a while. But I heard whispers. She was in therapy, trying to rebuild herself from scratch. And me? I got a call from Grant Harris himself. He was in federal custody, but his voice was still commanding. You destroyed everything, Dan. No, I said calmly. You did. I just pulled the curtain back. He sighed. You could have been part of it all. My daughter would have kept you close. You were loyal, useful. I was never yours to use. And I hung up. A month later, I reopened my old consulting firm. The name on the door was mine again, clean, honest. But sometimes at night, I still think about Alyssa. Was she a villain? A victim? Something in between? She never reached out. I never tried to find her. Some things are better left in silence. But one day, a letter arrived at my office. No return address, just one sentence. Thank you for not letting me become him. And I knew. The story was over. But the scars? Those stay forever. Like, share. Subscribe to Revenge with Jason for more shocking emotional tales with twists that'll leave you speechless.